Alright dudes, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we take a look at the latest Overdrive that's kind of taken over my life, the DAE Duality DX. Let's get into it. Alright, so for those of you that don't know, this is the DAE Duality DX. This pedal and company kind of came out of nowhere in terms of my radar anyway. And I just kept hearing a bunch of folks whose opinions I tend to respect. Folks like Kyle Boyle, Jason Frankhauser, Killer Tone, have just said that this drive is just blowing them away. And now I can see why. So for those of you that don't know, it's a 3-mode drive, 3 main tonal modes. Meaning you have a green mode, which is kind of like a traditional tube screamer type of deal, where the top controls here are active. You have your typical gain, EQ, which functions like a tone control and a volume control. And then you have a blue mode, where this functions closer to like a fort and grind, or the pedal the device that pedal was based off of. I forget what it's called, but yeah. That type, it can generate that type of sound that really goes well with darker amps like rectifiers and stuff, and to me just provides a more kind of modern type of sound, and it's great for like extended range guitars, which you know I like. But what to me is super cool, this may sound kind of weird, let me see. Yeah, when you hold both the switches down, you get a red mode, where both of these, well, I think this is like a blend of both of the modes, where both sets of controls are active. So you can use the gain and volume and stuff from the green mode and take that into the more clean, boosty blue mode, and you can get some real, absolute crazy stuff going on with that. But we will get there. It also has a momentary mode where you can hold it and switch between the green and the blue. That could be useful for some things, but it's not really something that I'm super interested in. I am more so just here for the really cool tones that this thing can do. So let's start on the green mode. We're running into my Cherry Tone Leviathan here. Really loving this amp, if y'all haven't realized. I'm playing my Agile Chiral something or other. Really like it with Fishman Influence Moderns. And yeah, let's go ahead and just hear some tones. So here's what we're working with going through channel 2 of Leviathan without any boost. Let's turn on the Duality. Really freaking cool. Like, man, I just am really loving the sounds I'm getting out of this. It just feels great to play, and the amp just takes it like beautifully. But yeah, like I said, the green mode is just more of your traditional tube screamer type of deal. Let's play around with the gain and the gain control a little bit. So as you can see, I don't have gain on 0, and I have a little bit of gain blended in, and the Leviathan is taking it wonderfully. There we go. So I've typically associated overdrives that have a very, very usable and stackable gain control with Aris FX pedals. My favorite thing to do with those pedals is to blend in the gain quite a bit more than what you would on a normal overdrive. And already I'm seeing that works very, very, very well on the Duality DX as well. Let's turn this off again so you can hear once again what this pedal is actually doing. really phenomenal. And that said, the green channel is pretty much my least favorite channel on this drive, but it sounds really good. Let's go over to where I tend to leave this pedal at, the blue channel. All right, so now the top controls are totally out of the picture. We're only looking at the bottom controls here, which has a bass, a treble, and a volume. No gain control, as you can see. This is just straight up clean boost, but with a certain EQ on it. And in this case, it's cutting out a bit of the bass and adding a whole bunch of treble, which is great for those super tight 8-string or super very low tuned freaking guitars into a chunkier amp. Yeah, once again, although I am a big fan of pedals like the Fort and Grind, the nice thing about this is that you can retain some of that bass and use that to kind of really fine tune it to your setup. Some folks find the Grind to be very, very kind of one-dimensional, meaning if you're not playing super, super low tuned and you're not into an amp that just has this really, really big low end, the Grind can make your guitar sound kind of tinny and harsh. Whereas here, yeah, I can get that thing going on. That's really great for 8 strings and stuff by really jacking up the treble. But I think the Grind setting would be like with bass really, really cranked out. And my one thing about the Fishman Fluence Moderns, I like it in this lower gain mode, but I feel like I lose some top end when I do that. So this will really accentuate what I'm talking about here. And yeah, that actually, really works out really, really well. But someone playing a 6-string in standard tuning or something may not work for them, you know? But like I said, the nice part about this pedal is that you can dial some of that low end right back in. Sounds good even still on this 8-string doing, well, that was 7-string stuff, but still it sounds great on the 8-string as well. But if I was recording and trying to do an actual, like, you know, if I was trying to put these guitars in a mix, that would probably be a little bit too much bass. But it's like, hey, the option is there. It's really quite nice. And finally, let's go ahead and check out the red mode. So like I said, it's currently set up for me to use each of these channels individually. It's probably going to be absolute madness when I turn on the red mode. Definitely too much going on, but the the high amplification phalanx is working like double duty right now. This is definitely too much. So how I tend to like to do this is to definitely use less gain than that and cut down some volume on the green side. All right, let's just real quick mess around with it using the Dover DA20 real quick as well. So this amp is a lot brighter than the Leviathan is. We'll quickly cycle through the channels again. We're on the DA20 now. Blue channel. So the DA20, as you all probably know, is very, very high-endy in the first place. Does not need quite as much high-end push there. And let's finally jump over to the DA20's crunch channel. We're just on this overdrive channel, so this will be a little less gainy. All right, yeah, and there we go, guys. Man, so basically, at this point, I think if I could only have one overdrive pedal, it very much may be this one, just because of the fact that it covers both of my favorite types of overdrive pedals, a TS style pedal and a grind style pedal, both of which I find incredibly useful depending on the guitar and the amp I'm playing through. And at the same time, the best of both worlds. One that I could run, a way that I could run both of those pedals at the same time. That is super cool. And shout out to DAE and Daniel Solheimer, the owner of this company and the builder of these pedals. These things are freaking phenomenal. But hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, y'all take care.